Hello everybody, and how are you today? This is Sue McCurdy from Susie Q Designs, coming to you live from my scrapbook room. Today I'm going to be making a card, and it is a card that can be used for an alternate for the January paper pumpkin. Also, you can use whatever papers you like for it, and if you check out my Facebook post that I just posted the measurements for it. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. If you come on and watch the video today, please say hi and let me know where you're watching me from. I'd love to be able to see your comments and see where you're watching me from, especially if you're watching the replay on YouTube. Okay, so coming up for me are a couple of things. I am going to be doing a paper share out of the mini catalog that just went live on January the 4th. So there's 8 paper packs in this catalog, and I will be doing a paper share. There will be 4 people in the group. So what will happen is I will cut up all the papers into either 6x12 format, and some of them are in a 6x6 format already, so they don't need to be cut. Okay, so what will happen is you will get a quarter of a paper pack of each of the 8 paper packs that are in this catalog. So there's a lot of good ones in here, so you may want to join that. So if you do, so please let me know if you'd like to join the paper share. Okay, also coming up for me, out of this catalog, there is a really cool, cute little bundle, and it's called Be My Valentine. And it comes with a stamp set and a bee builder punch. So I'll just show you the cards that we'll be making for it. This one is a fancy fold card, and these are 2 other cards that we will be making. And the paper we are using is from the Be My Valentine suite. It also has a paper punch and some stamps. Okay, so I've colored in the images on the bee there. So you will need markers for that. But it's going to be a lot of fun, but I'll have all the supplies here at the class. Okay, so that class is running on February the 7th at 9:30 a.m. So if you can make it, please let me know. And if you would like to purchase a kit of one of these, let me know also. I can mail them anywhere in Canada. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to do a card. I just received my paper pumpkin a few days ago, and I have an alternate ready to go for that. So this is the January 2024 paper pumpkin kit. Okay, so if you have that, this card can be used as an alternate for that, or you can just use your own supplies from your stash. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. Please click the like and subscribe button if you like my videos, so you don't miss any of my further videos. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera down now and show you what materials we need to make the card, and we'll get started. Right, sorry for the movement of the camera there. Okay, so I'm just going to see if this is showing properly on my desk. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to refresh my feed on my computer. So if you come on, like I said, please say hi. Let me know where you're joining me from. And we'll get started on the card now. Okay, so I can see that on there. I'm just going to make sure that my volume is off. Okay, my volume's off now. Okay, so here we go. The materials you will need for today's card are 2 designer series papers cut at 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. Okay, if you have the paper pumpkin, then you will be using this card base that's already in the kit, and then you just need to cut it here at 2 1/8 by 5 1/2. So then you'll have those 2 pieces. This piece can stay together. Also, with another designer series paper, you will need a bigger piece, 4.5 by 5.5, and this one is 3/4 by 4, and this one did come in the paper pumpkin kit. Don't feel like you have to use that though. Okay, because you can still do a Z fold card without it. All right, and then some white pieces. This one came in the paper pumpkin kit, 3 3/8 by 3 3/8 square, and then a smaller piece cut at 2 by 3, and then a couple more pieces, 4 1/4 by 5.5, and a small piece for the sentiment, 5/8 by 3 3/16. Okay, so this piece did come in the paper pumpkin kit as one of the sentiment strips, but I did cut about a 1/16 of an inch off of it. So it was this size here. I just punched it out of there. I cut about a 1/16 of an inch off of it just so that it would fit nicely inside that sentiment piece there. Okay, and then you will need, I got some leaves and 2 of the flowers from the kit. The colors that I'm going to be using for stamping today are Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather. Okay, so if you have those, you can get those out. The Gorgeous Grape is the one that came in with the paper pumpkin, and also I'm going to be using some of these beautiful gems that are in the new mini catalog. Just love these, so I was excited to use them for this card. Okay, so it's in the January to April mini. They are called Purple Fine Shimmer Gems. They're on page 23 in the new catalog, and they're $11 Canadian. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to show you what I did first. I'm just going to clear all these pieces off of my desk space for a minute. Just put them all to the side so I have some space to work. Okay, so the first thing I did was I had this card base that came in the paper pumpkin kit. It was both sides, and it is so beautiful. I thought, let's try to make a Z fold card out of this. Now, I didn't need to cut it really, but we are going to need to score it. Like, you can cut all these pieces up if you want and glue it on white paper, but I just kept this piece together, and I just did one cut here at 2 1/8. So this measures 2 1/8 by 5.5. So does that one. And so I've already cut that. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer because we're going to need to score this piece at the halfway mark, which is at 2 1/8. Okay, so let me get that out of the way. Just gonna turn this the right way. So I need to cut this at 2 1/8. So that's 2 1/4. That should be 2 1/8 right there. And I'm gonna get my cutting blade out of the way. I don't want to cut this, and just score it right down the middle. There we go. All right, so it should just look like that now. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my bone folder. And I'm just going to fold this piece. This piece already has a score in it, so I'm going to fold it like this, so that my 2 purple sides are facing each other. And then this flowery side, I'm going to fold back. Okay, there we go. So we've got the Z fold already, but I'm going to make this side longer by adding this piece to it. Okay, so I'll see if I can get my patterns going the same way. And what I'm going to do to give it some structure is glue it to this piece. So this is going to be my base, and I cut that at 4 1/4 by 5.5. Okay, so if you have the paper pumpkin kit, the few extra things that I added was some white paper and this stamp set, so Highland Heather. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue this floral piece on right here, and then I'm going to glue that piece on here. So I'm just going to bring in my Tombow glue and get some glue on that and get it glued down. Get my glue coming out. There we go. So how is everybody doing today? What are you doing? Are you having a busy day? I've already been out today doing some errands. I had an appointment, then I came back and got ready to do this card. Okay, so I'm going to try to cover up all of the white on here, and then this is going to be glued right there. So I'm just going to put glue on this part here and then attach it. Okay, let's get a bit of glue there. Put my lid on my glue, and there we go. So if I just have those meet directly flush, that will look perfect. And then we will have this beautiful card base all ready to go. All right, so that's going to be our Z fold, or our Z fold for the Americans. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to get my 2x3 piece and do some stamping on it. And I'm going to also stamp on this piece, and I'm going to also stamp on this piece. Okay, so I'm just going to clear off my space right now, and then I'll show you what stamps I'll be using. Okay, so for the square piece, I'm going to be using this with the ink that came in the kit, which is Gorgeous Great. Okay, so if you didn't have the kit, that was 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. So I'm just going to bring in my stamping mat for my stamping here. Okay, so I'm going to ink up this really pretty stamp here, and then I'm going to stamp it on this nice square piece here. It is so beautiful. It actually has some foil, purple foil around it. I really like it. Okay, so it looks like I have that nice and inked up, and I'm just going to put it on an angle about here and press it down and hold for 1, 2, 3. There we go, that looks good. Okay, so that piece is done. And then for the sentiment, I'm going to use this little piece. So that was 5/8 by 3 3/16. And I'm going to get the Happy Valentine's Day stamp out, and I'm going to stamp that on there. Okay, so I'm going to try to get that on straight because I've already got it cut to the right size that I need it to be. Just going to ink up my stamp here. Okay, that looks pretty good. And I'm going to try to get that straight on here. I don't have lines on my stamping mat though, so I'm going to put my mat underneath my paper so that I can line this up on the lines. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking. I'll have a better time, an easier time to get it to go straight, hopefully. Okay, so let's give it a try. Go straight down, hold it for 3, and there we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, and so I've got these 2 pieces done, and now the next thing I'm going to do is this is going to be the white part where you're going to write your sentiment in. So I'm going to bring in the love stamp, and I'm going to stamp it really lightly with the Highland Heather. Okay, so if you have this color, it's a lighter purple than the Gorgeous Grape is, but it will coordinate nicely. So I'm just going to take that off. And for this one, I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp the word love kind of on a diagonal right on here, super lightly, so that when you write your sentiment on there, this is going to kind of be like in the background. Okay, so I'm going to ink that up. Okay, and then I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on a diagonal on here, and I just want it to be light, so hopefully that's good. Yes, that's pretty good. That's pretty much what I was going for, because you can see it all the way through. There's not too many big, and there's too much, you know, not too much empty space on there. It looks pretty good, so I'm going to use that one. Okay, so I'm going to close up my ink pad now, and we can start assembling the card. So this piece is going on the inside. I'm going to get my stamping mat out of the way right now. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my card base. This is going to go on the front like that. And then this is going to go on the inside. So I'm just going to glue that in the middle. Bring in my Tombow again. It's actually snowing outside right now. I do live in southwestern Ontario, so we are getting snow. Are you having snow where you live? I do have to go to London tonight, which is like about where I'm going in London. It's about a 50-minute drive from here. So hopefully the snow is not too bad when I have to go out. Just have to take my daughter to her sporty practice. Okay, so that's the inside, that's done. Okay, so now we can decorate the front of this and then glue it on. Okay, so how I am decorating it is I have this nice green leafy piece from the Paper Pumpkin kit, and I'm taking 2 of the flowers. So one is longer and one is a little bit shorter. And this piece that I'm choosing right here came off of this die cut right here. So it's the smaller of the greenery. So I'm just going to put some glue on the back of that, and I'm not going to glue the tips of the greenery because I want them to fold up a little bit and have a little bit of dimension off of the card. So, oops, I just glued that and I wasn't going to. All right, that's okay though. So I'm going to get it to come off of the top a little bit. And just press those pieces down. So I wasn't going to glue this one down, but I did by accident. I'm just going to fold it up a little bit with my tweezers, and same with that one. It'll just give it some more visual interest. You could do that with a few more of them. These leaves, it'll look really nice, I think, to give it some dimension. There we go. Got a few of them to come up. There we go. All right, and now I'm going to glue down the longer piece, and I'm going to have that come off a little bit as well, so try not to glue the tip there. I'll just glue from about here down. Get that on there, and I think I could go right about there. That would be a good spot. It's kind of right in between the green pieces. And then again, I can give that a little flick to give it some dimension as well. Okay, now this piece, I think I'm going to go right in between those green pieces. I could even tuck it underneath that green one that I flipped up a little bit. I think that will look nice. All right, so let's do that. A little glue on there. I'm going to kind of tuck it right under there, and moved on me. Oh, that looks cool. All right, and I'll flick that piece up too, that one back up, and there we go. So we've got some nice dimension on there. I really like that. Okay, so this piece came in the paper pumpkin kit. So if you don't have the kit, just cut a coordinating, piece that coordinates with that one at 3/4 by 4 inches. So that's going to be the base for our sentiment. So the reason why I trimmed like a 1/16 of an inch off of the top of this one is so that I could get a better border on here. So there'd be a bit of a border on the top and the bottom. Because there's going to be a lot of border at the sides. So I think it'll look good having more border at the top and the bottom as well. Because it was almost as big as the purple piece was in height. So this way it'll look good having a nice border. Okay, that looks nice. Here we go. All right, so now I can go ahead and attach this to the front of my card. It's gonna go here. So I want it to be in the middle, and I only want to glue it halfway because this part is not going to be glued. So you're not going to glue down the right side, just the left side. Okay, so just make sure I only put glue on this side. So when I adhere it, I won't mess up my card. I'm going to try to put it in the middle, somewhat in the middle, and just kind of eyeball it to make sure there is the same amount of border on this side as this side, and get it somewhere in the middle. I could bring in my T ruler to see if I got it straight, and hopefully I do. Line it up there. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I did a pretty good job with that. I'm happy with that. Okay, so that's adhering down now. And now I just need to attach my sentiment, which is Happy Valentine's Day. And I'm going to pop that up with dimensionals. Dimensionals did come with the paper pumpkin kit. And here's how many I have left. So I will be using those. Okay, before I put them on though, I'm going to see how far off it's going to come. Okay, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a purple border on each side come off the edge of the paper, so I don't want to put it right to the edge. I'm gonna bring it in just a little bit, and I think I'll use 3. There we go. And I need to find my pokey tool so I can get the backs off of these dimensionals. And then we'll be ready to glue it on. That looks good. All right. Okay, so I'm just going to make sure my card is straight. And I'm going to try to put this in a spot where it looks like it's going straight. And hopefully I did that okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so there we go. And then now I'm just going to embellish my project with these beautiful gems. I just love these. So I ordered these in December because if you're a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you can get a pre-order the month before the items come out. So that's one of the amazing perks of being a Stampin' Up demonstrator. You do get the products before the rest of the public do. We can play with them first. So I got these ones. I just love them. I'm not a huge fan of purple, but I think this is really beautiful. So I went ahead and bought them. Okay. And luckily, it coordinates with this paper pumpkin kit. All right, so I'm just gonna pick a few of them. On my sample card, I used the lighter purple, so I think I'm gonna use the darker purple. You could actually use this pink color too. I think all three of them will go with this card. Okay, so I'll try the darker purple. I'm gonna pick one of the smaller ones to go right about here. I'm gonna put it beside that piece that is flipped up a little bit. Has so much pretty dimension when you do that. Okay, and then I think I'll put maybe one here and one here. So I'm gonna get a big one here, one of the larger ones, and put it there, and then I'll put another smaller one down there. See how that looks. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then I'll show you the other card that I made yesterday. It's a little bit different, but pretty much the same. I just used a different color of dimensional. Okay. I mean of these, what are they called? Gems. Okay, so here's my finished project, a beautiful card. And when you open it up, it says love, and it's written lightly, or it's stamped lightly enough that you can write your sentiment or whatever message you want on top of it or around it. Okay, so I'll show you my other card too that I did yesterday. Here it is. So here's how it looks with the lighter purple gems that came in that gem pack. Okay, so these ones are the lighter ones, and these ones here are the darker ones. And then what I did a little bit different on the inside was I stamped the word love 3 times. So I just kept it going at the same angle, and I just did it lightly 3 times. Like I just stamped it on my ink pad, then I stamped off, and then I stamped it on there. So it turned out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, so there are my 2 cards that I did as my first alternate to the January Paper Pumpkin. Which one do you like best, the one with the darker gems or the one with the lighter gems? Not sure. I think I'm gonna go with the darker gems. But yeah, what beautiful paper this is. I thought, yeah, I gotta try to do a Z fold on that, and there we go. All right, thank you so much for joining me, and remember to say hi and let me know where you're joining me from. And thank you so much for clicking play on today's video. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.